pretty good, I'm not gonna lie.
I feel like Xavier is just such a hopeless romantic. It's so sweet and refreshing to see a guy. Well, I mean, he is fictional.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am so happy that you're here for today's video. I am going to be reading romance books for a week straight. So I am filming my intro at the very almost near end of me filming this video. Before I started filming this video, I thought that this would have been probably almost the perfect way to torture myself. I'm not the biggest contemporary romance fan, but I think with all books it really just depends on the author and the writing style, and I feel like I was long overdue for a romance book, and I definitely do miss the romance genre, and I also just really want to get introduced to new authors and to see what writing styles I do and don't like in romance books. So I have chosen 3 books for this video. The first book that I have is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I think I've mentioned so many times already that I have actually never read any of her books, so this is the first book that I will be reading from her. So the FMC in this book, her name is Samantha. She ends up finding a stray kitten, takes the kitten to a veterinarian who is the male lead in this book. His name is Xavier. They don't get off on the best foot, but he soon apologizes to her, asks her out, and they just have instant chemistry. The only issue is that Samantha literally has to leave to Southern California the very next day, and they're both just head over heels for each other, so there's sort of a long distance situation going on. Basically, we'll have to see if they can make it work or not. There's definitely a lot more to this book and a lot more depth to it, but we'll talk about that more in the video as the video goes on. The next book that I have is A First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. So this book is about a woman named Lucy. She feels like everything in her life is all set. She's content with her life. She has a daughter, she has a job that she enjoys, she has close friends and family. However, her daughter doesn't see it this way. Her daughter thinks that she's sort of lonely and needs to put herself out there and get into a relationship. So her daughter ends up calling Baltimore's romance hotline, and the host for that show is Aiden Valentine. Their little interview goes viral and she starts participating in this hotline. And of course, Lucy and Aiden sort of develop feelings for each other. Will they pursue it? Will they not? We don't know. So that's this book. And then we have Summer in the City. This is by Alex Astor. This book synopsis sounded so interesting. So it's basically about a woman named Elle. She's a screenwriter and she has to go back to the city that she hates, New York City, because she needs some inspiration for her screenplay, as it's going to be set in New York City. When she moves back to New York City, she finds out that her neighbor is the tech bachelor, billionaire, hottie dude, whatever. That was a bit much. He's basically just a tech billionaire that people find attractive. The funny thing is that years ago when she was in New York City, she was at a club and they bumped into each other, sort of had a heated moment, but then she ended up hating his guts after he said something, and that was it. She just hated him, but then now he's her neighbor. She basically has an enemies to lovers situation with him. He basically needs to pretend he's in a relationship for his company's acquisition, and she just needs a muse for her screenplay. So it sort of works out perfectly. They spend some time together, and yeah, we'll see how their relationship develops. I'm gonna put my mic a little bit closer to me because I feel like there's a lot of background noise right now. I have my window open and I feel bad because my cat is enjoying the view. But yeah, I'm really excited to read all 3 of these books. These are all 3 authors that I've actually never ever read anything from them before. But yeah, since again I've already recorded most of this video, you guys will now see me reading and see my reactions. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let's get right into why did I do that? Why did I do that? You know when you like cringe or ick yourself out so bad you just need to sit in silence for a second? What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, let's just get into the video now. Let's go.
Hey guys, good morning. It is the next day and I didn't record much content yesterday, but I'm out on my rooftop this morning. It's not too bad. A little bit chilly, so I have the fireplace on. Yeah, but the wind isn't too strong today, so I'm not worried about being up here with my camera. And I have my coffee with me. It has little hearts on it to set the romance mood. So I'm currently on page 182, chapter 22. I'm at Xavier's point of view now, and you guys, I have been eating this book up. Like, honestly, it's so fun. Her writing is incredible. It's just so fun to read, and it's not cringy. It's not cringing me out, which I really appreciate. But yeah, so far it's really cute. I feel like Xavier is just such a hopeless romantic. It's so sweet and refreshing to see a guy. Well, I mean, he is fictional, so that's great. Yeah, no, that's great. No, yeah. Sorry if I'm squinting really hard. It's actually really sunny right now. But yeah, it's really interesting to see because I feel like Samantha is being more of the realist here, whereas Xavier is sort of being like the hopeless romantic. Xavier is sort of fighting harder for this right now. Whereas Samantha, although she does want it really bad, she's just trying to see sort of the reality of the situation. I mean, they're both seeing the reality of the situation, but Xavier's just like, I don't care. We're gonna try to make this work. Oh, hello? The wind's picking up a little bit. I just came across a quote that I really like. It says, I thought about you every minute. Even when I wasn't thinking about you, I was. I know that sounds so simple, like such simple words to say, but that's so cute. I don't know why. Sometimes the simplest things are just so cute. I feel like that's when you know you just really like someone, when they're constantly in the back of your head. Is that normal? Is that healthy? Please tell me some people have related to this. But I don't know, I just feel like... Anyways, thought that was cute. Xavier's a little cutie. He has a way with words, I'll tell you that. I need to bring glasses next time I'm up here, but luckily my big old shadow head is reflecting on the pages, so it's helping.
Every time I try my iced coffee, I feel like I've just had it for the first time, and that is like the best thing to ever exist. So I did a lot of reading last night, and I'm currently on chapter 43, which is page 318. But there's something that I really love that Xavier said on page 278. He just has like the most simple lines, but somehow they're so profound. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just me. So he's envisioning his future with Samantha, and he says, I could see it like it was a memory, not a vision. So simple. Such simple words, yet again. I just feel like when you have such a strong connection with someone, when you think about the future with them, it doesn't really feel like something that's far away or something that's unattainable. It feels like something that's already happened, like you've known them in a past life. But yeah, going back to me being on chapter 43, they are trying everything in their power to make this relationship work, honestly, and I'm just like, I really, really hope that they can. But right now, they're sort of both going through it, very much going through it, actually. Like, nothing is going their way. A lot of things are not going how they expected or are not going their way because of the whole long distance thing, and honestly, if they just communicated a little bit better when trying to see each other, probably would have helped. But I feel like they have such a healthy relationship though, that in general they are very good at communicating with their feelings, and there's genuinely like nothing toxic about them. It's just the barrier of them being long distance. So yeah, I have about 35 pages left. We'll see how this ends. I don't know how Abby Jimenez's books usually end, but I really hope that this one ends off on a good note because I genuinely really like the characters. I don't usually feel super attached to romance characters, but these two I think I will have a special place for them in my heart. I really enjoy them. All right, I'm gonna read the rest of the 35 pages that I have, and then I'm really strongly feeling First Time Caller by B.K. Borson. That's what I want to read after this, so we'll do that as soon as I finish this book. And then I'll update you guys how this book goes. Hey guys, don't mind the messy hair. I just got back from the gym and I actually filmed a little bit of a recap after I finished Sailor Remember Me, but decided to scrap it because I think I needed a little bit of time to fully digest what I read and to actually give a proper review. I think at the time when I finished it, I was like, oh my god, this is 5 stars, this is amazing. But the more time that I've had to think about it, I did realize there were certain things that I was kind of, certain things that I thought were great about the book, and then other things that I was like, not a huge fan of. Overall, I really do love Abby Jimenez's writing, and I'm definitely going to pick up her other works. I also did like Xavier and Samantha together, and I can't compare her work to anything else because, again, I've never read anything else from her, so I'm interested to see if I'll enjoy her other works even more than this. I'm gonna back you guys up a little bit. I do like that this book has a lot of real life issues tied into it, like Samantha's mother having dementia, the reason for her needing to go back to Southern California. I feel like I just said California really weirdly. Southern California. Xavier having childhood trauma that he hasn't healed from, and of course the whole long distance thing between Xavier and Samantha. I totally understand why they both had to do long distance and why they both had certain boundaries and fears of, not being able to be in one state over the other. They were both tied to such different responsibilities. And I can't personally speak on, like, oh, Samantha should have done this over this with her mother having dementia, putting her in a care versus keeping her at home when they promised her mother that they would keep her at home. It's really hard to sort of have your own opinion on that. I think that kind of annoyed me a little bit was when they didn't properly communicate when they were trying to go visit each other. That was a bit frustrating to me, but other than that, I think that they're both very emotionally intelligent characters and can communicate their feelings properly. Especially Xavier, I feel like he just has a way with words. Samantha was a little bit cringe at times with her little jokes. Well, let me give you some context. So she's basically what does she do? She basically runs and manages I think it's a pickle company. I can't believe it's been like, I don't even know how long, it hasn't even been that long, but I completely forgot what company she worked for. I think it was Pickles. Yeah, Pickles, let's just say Pickles. Is it Pickles? Her job is basically to post enticing ads of her pickle company to get people to buy it. Like, how Duolingo on TikTok, for example, is sort of a menace. That's kind of what she tries to do. It's a little bit cringe at times, like some of her jokes, and even a little bit some of her dialogue with Xavier, but I didn't find it too terrible. I feel like just the way that Abby Jimenez writes, she just kind of does it well. I also have never read any of her other books, so I really don't have anything to compare this specific book to. So I'm kind of curious to see if I would like her other books more or not. But I mean, overall, I feel like there was so much I wanted to say and I literally cannot remember it now. I feel like I really actually had important things to say. Anyways, overall, I did enjoy it. I enjoyed Abby Jimenez's writing, and if I remember something that I wanted to say, I'll probably include it later, maybe at the end of the video, but for now, that's all I can think of. I did, of course, as you saw, started First Time Caller, and I'm actually currently on page 220. So I think that's just about halfway-ish. So far, I actually do enjoy the book. There were certain parts, maybe like within the last couple pages, that I was a little bit bored. The way that this book is written, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I just very much envision a movie. The mannerism that these characters have and the dialogue that these characters have, and the way that B.K. Borson sort of explains the actions of certain characters, it's just giving movie. Like, it's giving this is from a script, sort of. I don't know how to explain it. I hope that makes sense. I feel like this book tries to be very comedic, which I do appreciate, but sometimes I feel like just sometimes like half the page is like a character trying to be funny and not getting to the point quick enough. It's just like, can we please speed this up? I don't need to have a page of that. But yeah, I mean, I do like the characters. I do like Aiden and Lucy. I think that they're both interesting characters separately, and they're sort of at the point where they both are attracted and infatuated with each other, but they're not acting on it really. Aiden's character is kind of funny to me though, because he's sort of at like a life stage of like, I don't care about anything. He's just like, I don't care, I'm gonna eat 1,000 cookies and drink 1,000 cups of coffee and no one can stop me. Like, no, you're right, like we have free will. So one of the reasons why Aiden is not allowing himself to get too close to Lucy is just because he has a bit of trauma revolving around love in general. He's just hosted this romance hotline for so long that it sort of made him lose faith in love. And also his mom did have cancer and is in remission, but it was just so heartbreaking to see her go through that and her dad have to deal with the thought of losing his mother. So he just tries to stay away from love, whereas Lucy, I mean, she's just sort of a hopeless romantic. She wants to find love, but she's not really chasing it. And that's the whole point of this hotline though. Now she is trying to find love. But yeah, I'm excited to see where this book is going and hopefully see Aiden overcome his fear of love. I also do want to share a quick quote from this book that I really enjoyed. So I wanted to share this quote because I feel like the writing in this is actually really good and very descriptive, like very imaginative. It says here, a smile hooks the corner of her mouth. Hi, host of Heartstrings, Aiden Valentine. She leans closer to the mic like she's ducking her head out the tiny window in the back and whispering out over the city. The row homes that line the cobblestone streets of Fells Point and the ones on the hill on the other side of the harbor, the red brick churches in Little Italy and the high-rises in Harbor East. A whole city on the edge of their seats waiting to see what she says next. Her smile tugs wider. Hi, Baltimore. Like the way that the author just painted that image for me, I just was like, whoa. That was pretty good. That was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. And like, again, that's like kind of what I mean movie writing. I don't know how to explain it. I don't even think that makes sense. But you can just sort of imagine her speaking over to the entire city and people from these different communities listening in and tuning into the show. But yeah, anyways, I just really like her writing. I think it's very descriptive and I feel like with her writing, it's just so easy for me to paint a picture in my head. Anyways, I feel like I have yapped for years and years and years. I'm gonna go take a shower. I'm gonna get a little cozy and continue reading this book. And then we'll go from there. We'll see what I do next. Sometimes my brain gets fried talking so much. I was just saying how I wanted a decaf coffee and I got my Nespresso order and they gave me a decaf coffee sample. I'm so excited. Hey guys, so right before filming this, I had about 100 pages left in First Time Caller, and I'm not gonna lie, I skimmed through it so quickly because I was about to DNF this book. I just think this book is about 100 pages too long. I feel like the story started dragging out and I just started getting bored and really did not want to read the last 100 pages, so I just went by them really fast. I had already gotten so far in the book, I would have felt bad if I didn't just, at least quickly skim through the book. I really enjoyed the beginning of this book. I enjoyed pretty much up to 50-ish% of the book, and then I started getting sort of bored, sort of a little bit of in a rut. I don't really have anything to even comment on about this book other than I just feel like it should have ended a little bit sooner and got a little bit bored. I think the beginning of the story was all fun and all cute. I think the concept of it is really fun, but yeah, it's just not my favorite. I might need some time to think on it, but for now I feel like I would rate this book a 2.5 out of 5, solely because I feel like it was just dragging out. And now on to my next book, which is Summer in the City. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to read this book. I really hope that I'm not getting in a romance rut right now because of First Time Caller. And honestly, I was kind of thinking, am I just sort of bored of First Time Caller because I feel like I've just have been reading too much romance. I'm not sure if that's the case or if I genuinely just wasn't super into First Time Caller. So I'm curious to see how I feel about this book, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get into it and start reading Summer in the City by Alex Astor. I really hope you guys can't hear the construction going on in the background, but I am about 75% in now in this book, Summer in the City. So my thoughts so far on this book is that I enjoy Alex Astor's writing, and I do like the plot a lot. The one thing I kind of didn't enjoy so much is that the FMCL, I just didn't understand why she was just holding on to so much hatred and such a huge grudge towards Parker. I feel like so much of the book was, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him, I hate him. Like, I get it's enemies to lover, but I feel like in the moment I thought she was just being a bit dramatic. Like, why are you just letting it hang over your head so much? But the more I learned about her backstory, it started to make sense. I started to understand where she was coming from. I still think it's a bit unhealthy for her to just hold on to so much anger and hatred, but I definitely got an understanding of where she was coming from. I don't really have much to say about Parker. I think he's a sweet character. I feel like he does mention his mom so much in this book that I thought it was going to allude to something bigger. I don't know if it's going to in the end of the book or not, but at this point, I mean, I'm like 75% in, and I'm just like, why does he mention his mom so much? Also, Elle's little sister, I didn't like her at all. I just feel like she was pretty selfish in a lot of the decisions that she's made or has made in the past. But again, there was more backstory to her as well. So I don't know. I feel like I just started off not really liking the characters so much that when I did learn about their backstory, I was like, oh, okay, well, I mean, that does make sense. I get where they're coming from. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think these characters are my favorite, but I am enjoying the book. I do like the book. I think it's a fun concept, but it's just the fact that Elle sort of refers to her independence so much that it started to get kind of a little bit repetitive. But anyways, I'm going to finish up the rest of the book, and I'll give you guys my final opinions and wrap up at the very end of it. Well, you guys, I finished Summer in the City. I just had the same issue that I had with First Time Caller. Towards the ending, I just started getting a little bit bored. And I'm kind of shocked because this book is pretty short on its own. It's just shy of 300 pages, so that kind of surprised me. I was not expecting that. I think what I have realized now, though, is that I feel like I need romance books to be 90% dialogue or I'll probably get bored. But yeah, I mean, I really don't have any other thing to comment on about this book. I pretty much said what I wanted to say before reading the last couple pages of it. I definitely felt for Elle and her backstory. A lot of the sort of issues that she's had mentally is because of her father, the way that he treated her sister, and her mother. Sorry if the angle's different, my mic ran out of battery, but as I was saying, her dad sucks basically. But yeah, I think out of all the books, I enjoyed Say You'll Remember Me the most, and I strongly believe because there was just so much dialogue in it, and I feel like it was the perfect length as well. I did not get bored towards the end of the book, whereas for these last two, I kind of did. I was just like, I wanted it to wrap up sort of quicker. Yeah, it was definitely fun doing this video, challenging myself, and reading 3 romance books straight in a row. But yeah, that's everything I have for you guys today. Thank you again for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!